Hello. I set out to do the standard uh, Catskill ginger quill that I was familiar with from years past, with mallard, upright mallard wings, um, ginger hackle, etc. And it was very interesting. First of all, I found a version in Ray Bergman's Trout that used, for the quill, used a condor quill. Well, that was kind of out of the question. Plus, that version had wood duck wings, which I just don't remember on this fly at all. Every version I've ever dealt with had mallard. Then I read Preston Jennings, and he talks about this fly being a very small fly. He puts it in a class with the little Marriott, and he claims that Starling wings are the correct wings to use with this. And so right away, I knew I just had to present myself with a challenge, and decided to tie this in a size 20 after taking a serious look at my Starling wings here. And here's a Starling skin. And this is what a typical primary feather looks like. Not very wide, to say the least. Cutting slips from those, you can barely keep them in your fingers. So I had done some work with Starling in the past, and just had to do it this way. I was pretty happy with the fly, but it's far from perfect. Nonetheless, give this a shot if you want a challenge. It was a lot of fun. This is a number 20 standard dry fly hook. I think it's a Daiichi standard dry. I want to go about halfway back. Kind of overcooked it there for a second. And now I'm going to take about 4 turns forward here. I want to get to the 1/3 point on the hook. I'm going to tie these slips in as if I'm tying in a wet fly. That seems to work best for me, probably because I've done a lot of wet flies. You can mount these at least 3 different ways, and I've done them all. In this case, I didn't have enough length on the wings to double the butts back and use that technique. Anyway, after some experimentation, this seemed to work out best with these very fragile, small, tiny little Starling slips. Starling must be the smallest bird on earth. I don't know. This was a lot like tying in hummingbird wings. The great thing about Starling, though, is you can really rough these slips up, and they will magically marry back. They're very forgiving. When you select these, you want to use a Starling skin and get rid of the top feather, and then the next 2 feathers down on each wing are the ones you want to use. I'm going to do some wet flies later on with this Starling. I started to really like it after a while. At first, it splits so much you think it's unworkable, but it's amazing. It'll heal right back up. So whiting tailing pack ginger. Got 5 or so strands here. 5 or 6 works. I want about hook length on this tail. This is a Catskill style fly in spite of the fact it's this small. And now I'm going to tie in a stripped peacock herl. And to be honest, I do this incorrectly. It pans out okay, but you want to wind this so that the black stripe trails, not leads as I do here. But this works out, so I'll let it go. You can see that last turn kind of overwrapped. And there I got into my feathers, my wings, which you don't want to do. But as you can see, it marries right back. This Starling was actually kind of fun. But this size 20 fly was a challenge, I'll tell you. It's not that a size 20 is particularly challenging. It's the getting the wings to work at all. Very challenging. And I've got a fiber there, as you can see, but I just plucked it out with tweezers. The wings still look fine. And you'll notice when tying these wings in, you don't divide them at all. And that goes for a normal size fly tied with mallard. Just tie them in back to back and you'll be fine. You don't need to divide them. Dividing them just screws them up. That goes for hackle tip wings as well, like on an Adams. Getting ready to wind this hackle, which is a true size 20. Now, the wing splits badly here. Look at that, it just marries right back. I'm going to try to get at least 4 turns on this hackle, winding forward. See how shaky I am here. It's not because I have the shakes today. There are days where I have the shakes, but this is not one of them. It's simply that it's a size 20. Plus, I don't see as well as I once did. That doesn't help. There's a little bit of a hackle trapped here. I'm going to try to get it, and it looks like I got it. See how big the tweezers are. One more whip and we're done. And after a little bit of primping, this is what I wound up with. There's a fiber or two in the middle there, but size 20, I'm letting it go. And that is the ginger quill as Preston Jennings would have fished it.